Lamb of God, you were slain for my sins, a sacrifice, yes you were, to redeem all men. So my tears I shed deep within for that blood.
Jones, and you're watching Positive Talk with Mike.
For my sins.
God bless you, sir. Let's open up with a word of prayer. Father God, in the name of...
Welcome to a new show with Positive Talk with Mike, where the show specializes on giving back to the community, people giving back to the community, church organizations. And if you'd like to see your pastor interviewed or something that you guys are doing positive in the community, give us a call at 313-346-3229. Or you can go to or email me at michaelmcdougall1960. Welcome to a new show with Positive Talk with Mike. Well, my special guest is Andre Steward. Welcome to our show.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Appreciate you inviting me here.
Andre, you know, the Bible talks about exercise, and the Bible says bodily exercise is profit little. It does profit, you know, so I want to talk a little bit about, you know, the business of what you're doing with exercise, and it's a discipline. What's the name of your company?
The name of the company is SW Black Belt Academy,
okay,
which pretty much stands for Superior Wisdom Breeds Biblical Authority.
Okay. And so how long have you been training in martial arts?
Well, I've been training in martial arts since I was about 6 years old, so that's about 47 years now.
Wow.
In various forms and various styles around the world, actually.
Okay. So with martial arts, I know it's a discipline. It takes a lot of discipline to do this. And tell us a little bit about your journey.
Well, my journey started, like I said, when I was 6 years old. And it's funny how it got started. I lost my first fight, all right? I got beat to a pulp.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
To be honest. But it wasn't losing that wanted me to do something, you know, and I didn't know it was martial arts at the time. Just do something. It was the fear.
The fear.
I didn't want to feel fear like that ever again. So my dad put me in wrestling, he put me in different things, but eventually it was martial arts that really gained my heart. Okay. So from taking martial arts all the way up until I was 12, it was more of an activity.
You know, let me stop you right there. I know a lot of times when I've gone to school and somebody would beat me up, and so is that one of the reasons why you took the martial arts, because of a fight or something that you had in school, and maybe you got your tail whipped in school?
It was actually at home that the fight happened, okay, in the backyard.
Okay, all right.
So, but, you know, it wasn't because of the fight. It was because of the fear.
The fear of...
I felt afraid, and it, you know, kind of like immobilized me. And that kind of fear, even at 6 years old, I know I didn't want to have anymore.
Okay. So. How has martial arts, the study, impacted your life? How has it changed to the way you think? Because I know it's a mental discipline as well.
Yes, and that's, you know, people always think about the physical aspects of martial arts, of karate, taekwondo, whatever discipline it may be in. But it is a mental aspect, but as much as mental, there's a spiritual aspect as well. And that's what I try to focus on in my journey, especially since I became 12. It became mine. It became something I live for. So, and then I had the fortunate to have good people in my life that have biblical backgrounds that really led me in the right direction.
How can martial arts be spiritual?
How can martial arts be spiritual?
Yes, sir.
All right. That's easy. Some people think it's evil. Yeah, martial arts doesn't go with spirituality. Right. But we all have a spiritual side. We all know this.
Right.
Something like that. And some people think of Buddha when you hear spiritual, but it's not that. It's really just getting the grasp of who you really are, identifying who you are and building that confidence in yourself and your ability to not just process martial arts on a physical level, but as moving it forward to a spiritual level. Because like I said, we're all spiritual beings and stuff like that. And we have that element, so it cannot just be focused on the physical. It has to understand and teach people to understand that they have a spiritual side and they work together. And that can come from any aspect of the training, stuff like that, because confidence in itself is a mental thing,
Okay.
right? So without that mental aspect of that confidence, your physical ability won't really gain because you don't have the confidence to move forward. So therefore, confidence being a mental thing, you're starting to understand that it's more than just physical.
Okay. So you've been training for 43 years?
47 years.
47 years, and you are a black belt.
Well,
And
I'm a black belt in several different styles.
okay,
I'm a
could you
7th degree
explain that?
black belt in Taekwondo under the Jutong Taekwondo Federation,
Okay.
which is called a Chief Master. There's 9 degrees, so I'm 2 degrees from Grandmaster. And American style karate, I'm a 3rd degree black belt. In Kempo and Aikido, I'm a 6th degree black belt. I have a 1st degree black belt in Okinawan weapon styles. So I've been training in different styles, like I said, not just here in the U.S., but around the world as well. I held titles not just in the U.S., but in Italy, in Germany, and Austria as well.
Wow. So the extensiveness of training in martial arts. I know there's a lot of benefits to training in martial arts. And how would, say you have a child that needs self-discipline. Is it good for self-discipline as well?
I think any form of martial arts is good for self-discipline because especially if they're focusing on the child's, helping them to understand who they are and doing different things to prolong that. Like, when they're acting up, just enforce the rules, and let them know these are the rules and these are the rules that has to be tolerated. But more or less than that is having them to understand that the discipline that's enforced in class has to be enforced at home as well.
Wow.
All right, and the instructors, especially the head instructors, need to really be on top of that because that's when its discipline start to build, when you can get them from taking that same type discipline in class and applying that discipline at home. And that doesn't start with just a child. We have to train the parents as well on how to deal with the child.
Wow. Now, how do you train a parent on how to deal with a child in his martial arts? Tie that together for me.
And a lot of people think when I say that, we're disciplining the child. We're not. That's the parent's place to discipline the child.
Okay.
We're just taking those same practices. And because when I was growing up, when I acted up, my dad, obviously I would get a spanking or something like that, but there was no talking thereafter. So one of the things my karate instructor did is help him to understand that, yes, he needs to be disciplined, but tell him why you're disciplining him. Talk to him and find out what was in his head so you can understand him as well as he understand you. And when they think that you're on their side, they can understand why they're getting disciplined, not just you beating them because they got in trouble. Because that negative attention is still attention. We need to enforce that negative attention with the positive affirmation of why it's happening.
Okay. So martial arts, and there's different degrees, and so one first starting out, what's the first belt that you went after?
Generally, the first belt you go after is a white belt.
Okay.
Now, here's what's special about the martial arts that I've been in.
Okay.
You have to earn your white belt.
You have to earn the first belt?
I've been in many classes where you're given your white belt.
Okay.
You have to earn your white belt. So therefore, you're starting to get a sense of commitment and a sense of earning something rather than being given something. So therefore, from white belt all the way up to black, it was something that I had to earn, something that I had to work for.
Okay. Wow. So that's different from most of it because, like you said, you got to earn the yellow belt. And what's the next belt after the yellow belt?
It depends on the styles.
Really?
Generally, they got different colors that to represent different ranks, but the whole rank structure is basically a commitment-based structure to teach, commitment, to teach a form of discipline, to teach worth ethics, stuff like that. So you're achieving different levels. So let's look at it that way. It's not necessarily about colors because, like I said, different styles may have different colors, but It's the achievement of different ranks.
Okay. This may be maybe a dumb question, but is there anything higher than a black belt?
There's different degrees of black belt. Like I
Okay.
said, I'm a 7th-degree black belt.
Okay,
And
different degrees.
the Taekwondo I study, you go up to 9th-degree black belt, which give you Grand Master. And American-style karate, they go up to 10th-degree black belt. So there's different degrees of black belt.
Degrees. So that would that mean when you say degrees, what do you mean by that?
Different ranking system.
Different
Just like you have your white belt, your yellow belt, your orange belt, your blue belt.
Okay.
Well, when you get to black belt, you got your 1st degree, your 2nd degree, your 3rd degree, and on up. So your level of achievement continues even past black belt.
Wow. Okay. Okay. And we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
At your locally owned Sparkman Pharmacy, we work with you to provide the necessary tools and services that are needed to help your family live longer, healthier, happier lives. Our compounding specialist at Madison Health Mart allows us to get your medications in a form that is best and most effective for you. Our pill packs and packaging service help ensure that your meds are taken properly. We are dedicated to providing you the knowledge and tools necessary to take care of your family. Sparkman Pharmacy, our family taking care of yours.
Welcome back to Positive Talk with Mike. My special guest is Andre Steward. Andre, could you tell me what or who influenced you in your career with Taekwondo?
Well, when I first started out when I was 6 years old, they had a gentleman by the name of Grandmaster Kerry Hayes in New Orleans, Louisiana, who really got there. He came from New Orleans, Louisiana. I stayed about 45 minutes outside of New Orleans. He came 3 times a week just to train us in martial arts, stuff like that. And he did it totally free. I didn't know that at the time. Over time, I found out he did it totally free. And he took his time to really get out there and help us, help kids develop themselves physically, mentally, and spiritually, all on his own. So that became a big influence for me. And then over time, one of the things he said, don't just learn this style. Go out and branch out and learn other style, meet other people, which led me to Huntsville, Alabama, where I met this gentleman named Barry Grizzard. He was one of the American-style karate. Awesome gentleman. Very well dialed in the martial arts and stuff like that, but his whole soul was pretty good. So he was an excellent influence for me. And then I went to the military where I met this guy named David Castro. And we got on the all-Army martial arts team, all-Army Taekwondo team, which he took us all over the place, helping us to build physically, mentally, and spiritually again. Like I said, everybody I've met had that element of them, and I was just fortunate to meet those people that believed not only in the physical, but believed in what Christ could bring to the table for us as well. And then from there, I traveled all over the world, came back here, and then I met this guy named Robert Dunn out of Charlotte, North Carolina, Grandmaster. He took me on into this new system, Jutong Taekwondo.
Jutong Taekwondo.
We have been all over the place. Through him, I've been inducted into the Black Belt Hall of Fame.
Wow.
In 2019. And in 2019, I was inducted into the Who's Who Pioneers Legend book, biography book.
Let me ask you this. So who was your favorite martial arts? Because I know back in the day there was Bruce Lee, and who else was out there doing it? You had a few guys that were doing it, but who was your favorite?
You mean who was my favorite martial arts actor?
Yeah, right.
Is that what you asked?
Yes, sir. Yes,
actor,
sir.
because if it was my favorite martial artist, it wouldn't be an actor at all.
Okay. Well, who was your first? Your
Well,
favorite?
you can't discount Bruce Lee because he brought a lot to the table for a lot of people in this culture, stuff like that. He put martial arts on the table where it is today.
Okay.
So I would say he was one of those influences, but Chuck Norris was one of those influences too. Was able to meet him on several occasions, stuff like that. Really great guy, stuff like that. And
so did they know the art itself, or was it just acting?
No, they know the art.
Okay.
They're definitely well dialed in the martial arts, and especially Chuck Norris. He's Grand Master right now.
Is he still doing martial arts, Chuck?
He still do it.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So, how many days of training does it take to keep yourself disciplined in the art that you're doing? How many days of training? Is that everyday training, or is it just a couple of days a week? Or
Well, it depends on the person, I would say, and what's the person's devotion to what they want to get.
Okay.
When I was training heavy, I was training 5 days a week, 3 to 4 hours a day. Right. Now, do everybody have to train like that? No. Is a different discipline and the benefits still applied? Yes, it is, because you learn that from constant repetition of the techniques, of the skills, of the personal development models that is set up for you. So it's not necessarily the hours that's going to make you better. It's your dedication to what you're doing.
Wow. Where is your school located, and how can a person get in touch with you if they really wanted to learn the art?
Well, right now, my school is located at the Freedom House, which is in Huntsville, Alabama, off Sparkman Drive.
Okay.
The address is 403 Traymore Avenue, Southwest in Huntsville, Alabama. But I will be opening another location in Athens, Alabama, hopefully here in the near future, February, March.
Okay.
I will be opening a location there, and we'll be open 5 days a week. And we'll have various different programs, and our age limit starts from anywhere from 4 all the way up.
Okay.
So that it's just a person, how
Now,
old you are.
So can a person reach you, Facebook, email? How does you want to give our audience
Okay,
your...
my phone number, the business phone number for SW Black Belt Academy is 256-749-5754. And you can also look us up on Facebook at SW Black Belt Academy. And that's the @ SW Black Belt Academy. And we're on Facebook as well.
Okay. I've always been interested in martial arts, but I knew it took discipline. It's just like I started boxing, and then because I boxed back in the Thomas Hearns era, and a couple of times in that ring, I came out that ring, okay, because it took a lot. It took a lot of training. It took a lot of discipline. It took a lot. And then as a young man, I was trying to do everything: football, basketball, baseball, and I couldn't do it all, so I didn't want to get hit in the face too much. So I let that one go. But, I commend people that, because I've noticed in martial arts, most people seem to be humble with that. Is that something that's trained, that you're taught how to be humble, not to just... because I'd be showing off if I had it. I know for me, I'd be, walking up to people and probably picking on them. So is that something that you're trained to be humble?
Well, I believe in a thing called humbleness, but being firm. What does that mean? We don't go out. One of the things we strictly think is you don't go out trying to start trouble.
Okay.
You don't use your martial arts, your taekwondo, for anything but self-defense or self-preservation to help someone else on that. So you need to be humble enough to understand that you can walk away from situations if that's an avenue you can take. And when you build that confidence in yourself, you'll be able to just walk away from certain situations, not worrying about the repercussion, not worrying about how it's going to make you look or what people may say. Right? But stand firm is understanding that at sometimes you may have to defend yourself, and you have the confidence and the ability to do it. Right? So we learn martial arts to such high extreme so that we know how far we can go and not have to go there if we don't have to.
Okay. Because I guess if I was, a martial arts expert, I'd probably go around looking for trouble, picking on people, but I probably wouldn't be in it that long. But who knows? Because I know with the discipline, it comes the humility. It comes with, keeping yourself pretty well balanced, not going out picking on people. So, because I haven't seen or heard of anybody in that field picking on people or beating people up. It's always like a self-defense kind of deal, or they're going to somebody's rescue, But I think kids should learn something like that.
Well, where I see that problem is when you have somebody in martial arts that's going out, starting trouble and picking on things, they have only jumped into the physical side.
Okay.
There's no progression of understanding who you really are and having that confidence that that is not something you have to do. So you see that sometimes in the martial arts world, but it's very far and in between.
Okay. Okay. So, do you have any upcoming events? Could you share with our audience, our viewing audience, some upcoming events in case somebody wants to come and watch you perform your martial arts or however that's translated?
Well, like I said, we have classes right now on Wednesdays at the Freedom House. Anybody's welcome to come, sit in, look at the class, observe to see what we're doing and things like that. We have a belt test that's going to be coming up in March. Anyone can come, sit in. It's always on a Saturday. It always starts at 10. We haven't put out the date yet because we haven't figured out the calendar yet. But it's going to be posted on our Facebook page, all our events. You can look on there and come to any of the events that we're going to be having.
So, with a belt test, tell me what details is that? What is the belt test? What is that about?
Well, each student goes up, like I said, in rank, stuff like that, and they have to do a physical test to show that they're ready to progress on to the next rank. Now, more than just the physical, there is a oral expectation of it, so they have to show that they're knowledgeable of what they're doing and the history behind it. And then they have to present themselves with confidence and outspoken, so it's not just physical. You have that mental aspect. Then you have that building that confidence aspect of them speaking in front of people, public speaking and things like that. So it's a test of all the attributes that they've learned over a 3-month period.
Okay. So long. So correct me here. So it normally takes about 3 months to get a belt or move up a belt.
It depends to what level you are.
Okay.
In the beginning levels, like I said, white belt, yellow belt, the lower beginner levels, it generally takes about 3 months to move up from rank.
Okay.
Now, when you get into the advanced stage, you go from a 3-month test cycle to a 6-month test cycle. And when you get into the black belt stage to move up to different rank, you go based on your rank. Like first degree, to get to second degree, you got to wait a year. To get to third degree, you got to wait 2 years.
Wow.
And on and on.
So why so much longer because of the belt? You have to wait a year. I mean, why is that?
Because of the black belt?
Yeah.
Because there's so much more material you're going to have to learn within that time frame. So giving you 3 months to learn a certain amount of material wouldn't be fair.
Okay.
I mean, some people can do it, but you got to think about everybody, where everybody at and how they progress, because everybody learn differently. Some people can learn visually. Some people have to learn kinesthetically by touch and placement and stuff like that. Some people can learn verbally. We have to take all that into account and base our program based on that, so everybody can progress and have fairness in all levels.
I got to ask this question. It just came to mind. With martial arts, I've seen people break things. Okay, I mean, so that's a mental discipline. And my next question, is that real? That you see them when they break the board, or is that real? Or is that just some fake stuff we see on TV?
No, it's definitely real.
Okay.
And in any of our belt tests, in different ranks, you may be breaking different boards.
Okay.
In black belt, you have option today to break bricks as well as boards. And it's a mental aspect, but it's a confidence aspect as well, and a perseverance aspect to understand that you can go beyond that which, you're faced with, the troubles you're faced with. So, remember I say it's a spiritual element?
Yeah.
Breaking boards and breaking bricks teach that other spiritual side as well, because you cannot stop when you're faced with adversities. You have to be able to move forward and through the adversities in spite of the difficulties. And trying to break that board or that brick, you have to project your confidence, your knowledge past that obstacle, and it breaks. If you stopped on it, then it won't break.
Wow. I may come up there and take you up on that offer is coming in and checking your classes. Now, when are your classes again?
Like I said, at the Freedom House right now, it's on Wednesdays at 4:30 to 5:30.
Okay.
And when we open in the Athens location, it's going to be open from 3 o'clock until 9 o'clock for different programs in different ages.
Okay. And we'll be right back after that word from our sponsors.
At your locally owned Sparkman Pharmacy, we work with you to provide the necessary tools and services that are needed to help your family live longer, healthier, happier lives. Our compounding specialist at Madison Health Mart allows us to get your medications in a form that is best and most effective for you. Our pill packs and packaging service help ensure that your meds are taken properly. We are dedicated to providing you the knowledge and tools necessary to take care of your family. Sparkman Pharmacy, our family taking care of yours.
Welcome back to our show. So, Andre, what are some of the things that your instructors, that y'all focus on with your students? What are some of the things you focus on?
Well, one of the main things we focus on is the personal development aspect of building a child or a person. And what I mean by that, I'm talking about, you talk about discipline. We're talking about discipline. We're talking about respect. We're talking about courtesy. We're talking about their perseverance. We're talking about indomitable spirit. You know, those type personal development things that they can take from the class and to the home and stuff like that. And all this stuff helps them to identify who they are, their strengths and weaknesses. Take respect for an instance. You've heard before that respect is what? Treating others the way you want to be treated. Right? Well, I think that's incorrect. Because some people don't care how they're treated.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
And so I try to teach them what respect truly is. It's treating others the way God would treat you. Therefore, it doesn't matter how someone treats you, you're going to treat them with the same respect God has for you. All right? And that in itself could change somebody else's behavior towards you. So respect is not treating others the way you want to be treated, but treating them the way God would have treat you. Those type personal development aspects, when we instill it in a child, not just a child, when we help the parents understand that that's what we're trying to do, and they come aboard, the child have not just that positive affirmation from the class, they can get that same positive affirmation from home, and then the parents and the instructors are working as a team, right? So gaining their confidence in themselves. All that helps them to gain confidence in themselves, because now, no matter what somebody come to them with, they can't be wavered because they understand that I don't have to do that. That's not who I am. That's who you say that's who I am. But I can persevere through those things.
Right. I certainly want to thank you for being on the Positive Talk with Mike show. And I really think you're doing something positive in the community. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you for inviting me, Mike.
At your locally owned Sparkman Pharmacy, we work with you to provide the necessary tools and services that are needed to help your family live longer, healthier, happier lives. Our compounding specialist at Madison Health Mart allows us to get your medications in a form that is best and most effective for you. Our pill packs and packaging service help ensure that your meds are taken properly. We are dedicated to providing you the knowledge and tools necessary to take care of your family. Sparkman Pharmacy, our family taking care of yours.
'Cause my soul would be lost, so I lift your name up above the earth. I lift your name, Lord. I give you all praise.